Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Decade, everybody!
Running on empty.
Boy, we have lots of hot wrestling news. Remember when they used to have the Slurpee machine and you would just squirt in whatever flavor it was you wanted, and they'd have like 10 flavors up there?
What?
I grew up, they had Slush Puppy. Now,
What?
have you ever seen the Slush Puppy?
Nah, man, sure haven't.
Okay, well, he was a puppy that wore a hat, like a toboggan hat. And the machines that they had at the local food mart where I was, whenever I was a young wee tot,
Yeah.
it would just squirt out like the white, just the ice stuff, right?
Right. Oh,
boy. And then you would squirt in whatever flavor that you wanted. So if you wanted cherry, you would put in the cherry flavoring.
Oh, you are old.
Mm-hmm.
That was before it was technologically able to just, have a flavor with the ice.
Right.
Hey.
I used to go to the soda fountain.
Dude.
At the drugstore.
Did you ever get ices from Kmart?
Sure, absolutely.
Remember the bear?
The Coca-Cola flavor and the cherry flavor, yeah. Down. Dave Meltzer not talking about slush puppies versus ices on Observer Radio. Woo! Well, we should probably dive headlong right into the wrestling news this week. WrestleCrap Radio. Well, blow me down. Fellers, I don't know if you recognize me voice yet, but it's me, Gay Popeye. Get out of here, Gay Popeye!
What?
Lord Alfred, if you please!
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Believe it or not, kids, this radio program is sponsored by our good friends at globalinternet.net. Let's say you wanted to open up a fan site. Gay Popeye. You think Gay Popeye has a website?
He's got a Facebook page.
He has a Facebook page.
He's got a MySpace page too. I think he's got like one friend.
Oh, that's sad. He probably just wants some companionship. Is that so wrong? Does he have a Twitter account?
I'm not sure.
I saw Stubby has a Twitter account.
Stubby's got one. Angry Jim's got one. Mike Check has one.
How does Mike Check have one? He's dead.
I don't know. Maybe there's been some technological advances up in heaven. Let's see here. I'm going to take a look at Gay Popeye's MySpace page and just see who exactly his one.
See how many friends Gay Popeye has.
Yeah, maybe he's had some friends lately.
Well, while Blade is doing that, kids, let's say you want to have more of a website presence than being on MySpace, than being on Facebook, than being on Twitter. Let's say you want a real website, which you should have. Go to globalinternet.net. They are, without question, without hyperbole, the best web host in the entire known universe. We couldn't have made it through a decade of WrestleCrap.com without globalinternet.net. Get on over there, globalinternet.net. They're there to help you out.
I was looking here, myspace.com/Gay Popeye. He has one friend, and it is the guy who automatically comes as your friend when you set up an account. But anyway, he hasn't. Gay Popeye hasn't logged in since April 2009.
Well, he's been out to sea, I'm sure.
Yeah. I was just looking over the itinerary. I see you skimmed over something.
What is that?
I'll read it directly off the itinerary sheet.
Mm-hmm.
It says RD has.
Wait! Whoa!
Yeah,
giving it away that we actually have an itinerary.
The impact to my Raw, Mr. Blade Braxton. Gay Popeye calls in. Hey, what are we, psychic? And then, what you trying to avoid?
Oh, I did try to avoid this.
RD has lost his first ever bet.
We'll just get go. We're just gonna move through the show, man. Obscure wrestling news time here, kids. This is the news you're only gonna get right here.
Down, down, down.
Hunting.
I do not remember the robotic Three Stooges.
One.
So the big news this week, aside from the Gooker voting starting, I had more fun watching wrestling this week than I have had probably in 10 years.
I'll agree with you.
I don't know how people can be complaining about it. You get a choice now. Sure, they may be two horrible choices, but at least it's choices.
I want to tell you a little story. I thought that since this was kind of like a 10 years ago kind of thing, 14 years ago, Monday Night War revisited kind of thing. I was like, you know what? I'll drink what I used to drink in the 90s. So I bought me a 6-pack of King Cobra malt liquor.
Right.
And plopped myself down on the couch. And as I watched the first hour of TNA unfold, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Then, of course, the HBK and Hitman face off.
Right.
The first 20 minutes of Raw. So for about an hour and a half, I was living the life. It was like I was transported back in time.
Mm-hmm. And you could flip over and you got to see Hogan and Scott Hall. With Scott Hall, and I mentioned this on my Twitter account. People probably need to start following me on Twitter, don't you think?
Everybody should follow you.
Scott Hall was wearing a shirt. Did it not say PB&J? Because I want a Scott Hall PB&J shirt. Why was he wearing a shirt that said PB&J? Can you explain that to me?
I was too busy looking at his eyes.
He was loaded. That was great. That's what made it fun, because you didn't know what was going to happen because you had a guy on TV. It's kind of like this show.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to come out of Blade Braxton's mouth.
Hey. But no, like I was telling you, everything was going great. We had Hogan, we had Scott Hall, Sean Waltman, had the
Val Venus.
Shawn Michaels confrontation, and then I got brought down back to reality. Because after the Shawn Michaels HBK Hitman bit was over, they flashed to a graphic of Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton.
Oh.
And immediately I got depressed, and I realized that it was 2010. And I was watching the same Raw show. Because basically Raw was just bookended with Hitman appearances, and in the middle was this same
old crap. I'd rather see the same old crap that I haven't seen in like 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I wasn't completely burned out on the Nasty Boys by 1995.
Oh, no. No. Okay, here's the thing. I want to see the Nasty Boys on television every week. I want Brian Knobbs screaming. I want him just random people. In fact, I don't even want them in the ring. I just want them walking around the arena screaming at people. Maybe,
You know what?
maybe better yet, because they tape Impact at Universal Studios down in Florida. Just to have Brian Knobbs walking around Universal Studios screaming at people.
You know, there is one thing that was missing.
The haiku?
Yep. I wasn't offered a job. All these people showing up on TNA.
And on WWE with the return of Bret Hart.
Good point.
Here we are in the middle of the haiku talking about Bret Hart.
You know, he took a bump. He took a shot to the balls.
Right.
Hey, you ready to see him back in the ring, Dale?
I don't think Bret's ready to get back in the ring. I love Bret Hart. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's ring ready.
I remember when I ran into one of your old cronies on YouTube talking about you.
Right?
You liked the Hitman so much back in the days, your nickname was the Hitman.
That's correct. That is correct.
R.D. the Hitman Reynolds.
That's it. Yes, that's what they called me back in high school.
You know what? I like the Black Scorpion, but I didn't demand to be called the Black Scorpion.
No, I used to. I know this will sound impossible, but when I was in high school, I had really long black hair. Okay?
How long?
If I wetted it down, I looked like Bret Hart. Probably as much as you look like... Wait, what didn't you say? People used to say you looked like Shawn Michaels.
Brian Pillman.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dude, had we known each other then, we could have been walking around like we were the Hart Foundation. Let's do that. Dude, let's get together and dress up for Halloween next year.
Yes.
We can both get wigs.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll look like Brian Pillman and Bret Hart.
Right. This idea has legs.
Except I gotta wear Cincinnati Bengals striped spandex.
I have Bengals. I have Bengals outfits or Bengals shirts and stuff you could wear.
Hey, you know who else we really shouldn't see in the ring besides Bret Hart?
Who is that?
Probably Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, he looked like he was hurting pretty bad.
He did.
He was hobbling a little bit. He looked like he was in pain just walking down to the ring. By the way, did you see Brooke? She was there at Impact with Hogan's new girlfriend, who looks exactly like Linda. Everybody says she looks exactly like Brooke. No, she looks exactly like Linda.
Well, you know what they say, don't you? The milk doesn't fall too far from the udder.
Continue.
This is the biggest week in wrestling in a long time. So
a week where we actually enjoyed wrestling again.
So I had to think, what should we talk about? What is the haiku going to be about?
Right.
Bret Hart or Hulk Hogan? Well, I don't think they would.
Decisions.
I don't think that WWE would have had Bret Hart back if Hulk Hogan wasn't on Monday.
On the plus side, Bret Hart would only be 2 syllables.
We've never done it like that. This is serious business. I've never decided a haiku based on syllable content. But I decided that Hulk Hogan was the main story.
Yes.
He forced Hitman to be Vince to turn to the Hitman to salvage the ratings. So here's 17 syllables on the return of Hulk Hogan to TNA. Hulk's back in wrestling. Dixie's new tagline? TNA. We are limping.